and then placeholder, then a UID 1002, a GID. So these should be the permissions on the front. Otherwise, anybody can, regular users can open this file. Shows the encrypted password information. In this file, we know that there is an X in the second field, which means that the password information is stored in the shadow file. Now, in the shadow is stored in the shadow file 1002 UID 1002 GID, no comments, home directory, and the set. Now let's grab for this user from the password, the primary key, user key, and then in the second field, the password is stored in encrypted form. The password is stored. Then the third field is the 16,000. The G shadow file stores group account passwords if there is any setup. In the third, you will see an encrypted string here. In the third field, it stores group. Create a new user account called user4. I don't have user4 on my system. With all the defaults. No customization. User add, user4. Simple. Done. All the defaults have been taken. User add, name of the command, and name of the user.
What's the default password?
DASSWD user4. Assign this user an initial password, anything, and then.
So if you don't assign a password, you can log in as a user right away?
No. You have to set up an initial password, and then you can give this initial password to the user. I set up the. Now I can grab for user4 the password file, and you can see user4, there is an entry for user4. This means that the password is in the shadow file. 1003 is the UID, 1003 is the GID, no comments. /home/user4 is the home directory, and /bin/bad. And the defaults that the user add command has just used are displayed here, which means that by default, January 1970, today is the 16,508. I want to assign this user a UID 3,299. I want to assign this user a group. Well, if you want to assign a user a group, then that group must exist on the system, right? So let's go root. No,
We created
and I want to create this -n, and this won't see any messages on the screen. It means the account is created without any issues. And then the next step is to anything. It's all done. Now you can grab for user 5 in the password file and see what information is stored there. And as you can see, the system tries to match the GID assigned to that user automatically. GID is also 3291.
So, but you can set like rows, offline, not any password.
We did not touch them. So all the zero G option, you can specify the GID and the name of the group. If you don't specify the GID, then the next available GID will be used from the group side. A group account must exist on the system before
How
you can
can
assign
you
GID.
for existing user?
We use yeah. If we change the UID, then it will automatically change the GID, or we have to mention user
separately. Sorry.
or separately change the GID.
How we can do the
Yeah.
From the group file?
when I create a group, it seems like
Yeah.
the group 11.
Already, you just created. And we can verify this information by graphing for DBA in the etc group file. At the very bottom, it shows that user 5 is a member of the group DBA.
So if you use the DBA already, we know about it. How would you get information from this DBA?
changed. And now interesting point to note is that the primary group information for a user account is stored in the password file, not in the group file. The group file stores the secondary user membership information only. The primary group information, I just changed the primary group for user 5 to DBA using the minus lowercase g option. Uppercase G is different, lowercase g is different. So, and then I grab the password file for user 5 and it shows that GID now is 510, which belongs to the DBA group. Update all four
Everything
files.
inside.
Everything in those four files.
When we need to change this code, which transaction?
Well, usually you should not be doing it. Because if you change the group identifier for the existing group ID, new name, and then the existing name. Yeah. So using different options is to remove a user account from the system, and it automatically.
I don't know.
I'll show you password.
We can also disable root user. If we create another user, we want a root privilege. For example, in Windows, it's recommended
To remove the user 5 account from the system without using the minus R option. User. Done. And you can see the ownership from new user is now changed to 3299, which means the UID that we assign to this user owns these files. If I use the for test user, done. Set a password, test user, set up any password, done. CHH minus L, test user. This command shows the aging attributes on the file, for this account. It shows that the last password change was on March 14, 2015. It doesn't show the number of days from Epoch Prime and all. The number of days between password changes, 0. Which means you can change your password whenever you want. Maximum number of days between password changes, 99,900. Number of days of warning before password expires, 7. So these are the default aging attributes set up on the account we just created. Now, first, we can grab the aging attributes here. Now 16,508 is from the Epoch time up to here, which is March 14, 2015. Minus uppercase M, 60 days, right? What else do you want to modify? Number of warning days, 10 or 14, 2 days. What else?
Second method is it's after 60 days.
Yeah.
And if it's lowercase, it's
So let me hit the enter key and see what happens. It works. Let's run the May 13, 2015. Account expiry is 31st of December 2015. Maximum number of days between password change is now changed to 60. And number of warranty days are now 14. So we modified these three attributes. Aging attributes. Minus uppercase M, minus uppercase W, and the expiry.
why we are not using Epoch timeline.
It automatically takes that time for all the calculations. It doesn't show 31st of December 2015, the expiry date. It shows the number of days from that day to December 15.
they have their calendars.
It has its Unix and Linux has their own calculation. Okay, so 16,800 corresponds to December 31st, 2015, and the shadow file now has different aging attributes after we ran that. So we can use the chh command.
Are you sure that is like a big?
No.
It is not 31st of June. So it takes the next hour.
Oh, before, okay, I will try 32.
Do this with root user.
Okay.
Calling expired.
The options do not have to be in this sequence.
How we
Sequence can be as you want. Minus L to log minus U to unlock here. And when you log an account, just check the corresponding line entry in the password and shadow file and see what change the command is made to.
Can we just like to slide?
Paste this command and then grab for test user in the. Do not specify any GID here. It will take the next GID available. It will take the GID right after the one, which is 1005 is used.
If we select here again, and take you to another word, what will happen?
Then the two groups will have identical members of the two group will have identical access to files and directories. The GID assigned to the admins group is uppercase G. We want user 5 minus G user 4 to be part of the admins group. User mod minus uppercase G admin user 4 and user 5.
We deleted the user file.
Yeah. So I just added two user accounts, user 4 and user 3 as part of the admins group. So user mod minus uppercase G, name of the group, and then the user who wants to be a member of that group. So user 4 is added, user 3 is added. Admins group. So you can add a group account using the user group. User 3 done. Test user done. So I created a group account called Share GRP. I added Natasha user 3 and test user as members of that group. Right?
Can we leave this users one for use?
Well, with user mod you can modify only one user at a time. The next step is to create that folder. Share it. The next step, so we created this folder. Now we're going to change the group membership on this shared folder from whatever it is to share group. Done? We can do one more thing. CH MOD G plus S share. Set GID. Okay. Remove all the permissions for everybody else on the system. We don't want public to have access to this folder. So other. Well, the group account should have it. I forgot one thing, so I have to. The group should have right meta privileges as well, so which I added. So in the first step, we created a group account called share group. Then we made 3 users members of this group. Then we created a shared folder and changed the group ownership on a file called, let's say, file 1, right, as user 3. Now I'm going to log in as user Natasha. Oh, this user. I'll log in as test user. CD into shared folder. I can open this file created by a different user and I can modify it. So I open this file and I modify, I added some and I fix. Yeah, by default system config users is not installed, so you'll need to install it with the yum command. Install this package automatically. So yum -y install system dash config dash users.
And you checked it by system dash config dash users.
Yeah, I just tried to run that command and it did not work. So which means it.
So yum dash minus star dash.
We need the yeah. Okay.
Yum. So those of you who don't have this tool already installed, yum it will install the GUI application of your system.